Good morning, students. Let us look back at what we learned in our previous class. Only the other day, I spoke how the kinglet of Monaco ran the gaming houses where people could play a roulette game, investing their money that they had in their hand. And later, we moved on to the things the Monaco kingdom had in it. Apart from the palace, courtiers, ministers, bishops, generals, and an army, the kinglet of Monaco had his own coronation, in which a crown was put on the head of the young prince. And he had been visited by the visitors and his people at morning session. Whenever he was pleased by the actions of his people, he rewarded them too, giving them many praises. And he also gave them a punishment. And moreover, he gave those people excuses, one who deserved it. And later, we got to see he too had reviews on which an examination or a thorough investigation was kept. That is what we call a review. And he maintained a councils on every occasion when it was made into necessary. A councils were made by the kinglet of Monaco, and some of the laws were established in his kingdom that were to be followed by the people of kingdom of Monaco. And we could also see the court of justice, where the justice was provided to the people of Monaco. He had everything in his kingdom, but all of them were on a smaller size or scale. At this moment, what happened in Monaco is that something bad that happened only a few years ago, which troubled the peace or tranquility of that kingdom of Monaco. That was a criminal committed a murder in the kingdom of Monaco, which haunted the whole kingdom, including the kinglet as well. The people of that Monaco kingdom always wanted to have peace in them. Such a thing, which means a murder that hadn't ever taken place in kingdom of Monaco. The people of that Monaco kingdom hadn't ever witnessed such a brutal murder ever before in their life. As a result of committing a murder in this peaceable kingdom, all the judges came together with a much needed ceremony, and they attempted the case with the most judicial manner. Among all the people, one who gathered, one who came together, were judges, prosecutors, which means lawyers, jurymen, a group of people of a public, and the barristers, which means a lawyer and a higher rank lawyer, one who work in high courts, is called a barristers. All these officials came together to give it an a justice, to give a case and a justice. And all these officials argued, which means put their arguments together and judged among themselves, and finally they decided that to give a criminal a sentence, which means he should be hanged until he gets death, until he dies, which means not only the execution or a sentence refers to a hang, it also refers to or symbolizes the execution, which means cutting off the head of the criminal. Later, all the officials submitted their sentence to the prince, and he, after having received it, he read it and accepted to the execution of the criminal if it is inevitable. If it was inevitable. But later, all the officials and the kinglet of Monaco found a problem in the execution. That was, the kingdom of Monaco didn't have either a guillotine machine or the expert or an executioner who was designated to cut the head of the criminal. This kingdom of Monaco had neither these two things in it. So the officials and the kinglet of Monaco decided to write a letter to the neighboring country called French government, asking them to lend a machine and an executioner. So, after having decided to write a letter was sent to the French government. Within a short duration of 7 days or a week, a prompt reply was received by the officials or the ministers of Kingdom of Monaco. What was written in the letter or in a reply is that a machine or an executioner could be supplied willingly. The cost would be around 16,000 francs. This demand was put in front of the kinglet of Monaco by all the officials. He thought over it. He went on thinking over this matter. He exclaimed, saying that 16,000 francs. And he further kept saying that this wretch or useless fellow isn't worth the money. Isn't worth the money of 16,000 francs. And he asked those officials a question over here. Couldn't this execution be done in a cheaper way? Why? Because is that if he had accepted to give a 16,000 francs to the French government, he would have levied or put to 2 more francs per head on is each inhabitant in his kingdom of Monaco. The people of kingdom of Monaco wouldn't bear or stand this financial burden. So he didn't like to give a 16,000 francs to the French government. So the another council was summoned by the kinglet of Monaco to consider what could be done next. So all the ministers decided to send the same kind of a letter to the Italian government, who was a brother monarch. This Italian brother monarch was unlike the French government. He was similar. The king of Italy was similar to the king of Monaco kingdom. All the ministers thought that French government was a republican one, The kinglet of Monaco had no respect at all, as French government was a republican, where the supremacy of power is only with the people. In terms of this, the Italian king, he was like this, the kinglet of Monaco. He would do some favor. With this hope, all of them had written a letter to the king of Italy, asking a guillotine machine or an executioner, believing that he might induce to do the thing cheaper, which means the king of Italy would do the things very cheaper, as he is like a king of Monaco. So the letter was written to the Italy, and later a prompt reply was received by the ministers of Kingdom of Monaco. This is the point where I stopped teaching you people. Let us make a move onto the next paragraph. Here, after writing a letter demanding to have a guillotine machine or an executioner from the Italian government, the kinglet of Monaco and his ministers received a prompt reply from the Italian king. Let us see what is happening over here. The Italian government wrote that they would have pleasure in supplying both a machine and an expert. What was written in a letter by the Italian government is that the government would have pleasure, which means they would feel pleasure or they would feel happy in supplying both a machine and an expert. Without a doubt, the Italian government would supply both a machine and an expert. Certainly they would feel happy for sending these two to the Kingdom of Monaco, and they demanded that the whole cost would be 12,000 francs, including traveling expenses. And further, what was written in the letter is that the whole cost would be around 16,000 francs, but somehow this was cheaper compared to the francs that was demanded or asked by the French government. And here the whole cost, all the cost would be 12,000 francs, including the traveling expenses, which means the expense means the money that is spent to perform a work, to carrying this guillotine machine or an expert to the Kingdom of Monaco. All the cost would be around 12,000 francs. This was somehow cheaper. I told people earlier that comparatively with the French government, as it asked the Kinglet of Monaco to give them 16,000 francs, this 12,000 francs asked by the the Italian government was somehow cheaper, but it still it seemed too much to Kinglet of Monaco. The money that was asked by the Kinglet of Monaco appeared to be too much to the Kinglet of Monaco. Why? Because is that the Kinglet of Monaco thought that the rascal was really not worth the money, which means the rascal means he was a deceitful one or an unreliable scoundrel. He was not a trustworthy man. So the rascal was really not worth the money. He is not equivalent the money that we are going to invest to the execution of him. This mischievous man was really valued to the money that the Kinglet of Monaco invest over the execution. It would still mean nearly 2 francs more per head on the taxes. How must he get this 12,000 francs? Is that only through the taxes? If he had to give 12,000 francs to the Italian government, he had to collect it from his people in the name of a tax. So he thought it over again and came to know that it would still mean, if he had accepted to give 12,000 francs to the Italian government, again 2 francs more per head need to be levied on the each inhabitant of the Kingdom of Monaco. So another council was called. The Kinglet of Monaco and his ministers thought to go to conduct another council over here. So the another council was called or summoned by the Kinglet of Monaco to have a deliberation among themselves. They discussed the council. In the council, all the members had a much deliberation over this issue and considered this matter, how it could be done with less expense. And what was the matter going on among all the people? One who was in the council is that they had a much deliberation over this issue of the execution of the criminal, and they weighed this matter about how this execution could be done with a less expense, or by investing a less expense. How could this execution be done? About this matter, all the members of the council had a much deliberation among themselves. A question that arose, that was, couldn't one of the soldiers perhaps be got to do it in a rough and homely fashion? What was arisen among the ministers is that couldn't one of our soldiers do the execution or cut the head of the criminal in a rough and homely fashion? You are very well aware of the fact that only the soldiers or the professionals, one who can do some things in a very rough manner or in a homely fashion, which means these professionals are especially known for do some things in a very familiar way, in a very rude way. That's what we call a homely fashion. In a very hard manner they can do it. So this question arose among all the members of the council. Couldn't this execution be done by one of our soldiers in a very rough manner or homely manner? So the general was called and was asked with the intention of doing this work of the execution by one of the soldiers of the army. The general, who had a high rank in the army, was summoned before all of them, and he was asked a question here. Can't you find us a soldier who would cut the man's head off? What was asked to the general by the members of the council is that, can't you find us a soldier among all the 60 soldiers of the army? Can't you find anyone, one who would cut the criminal's head off? Which means, in other words, we can say that, can't you offer us a soldier, one who is able to cut or execute the man's head off? In war, they don't mind killing people. All the ministers and the members of the council thought that in war the soldiers don't mind killing people, and we the people are also aware that soldiers do not mind killing people in the battlefield. They do not hesitate killing another person or their enemy in the war field. So these professionals are known for killing people in the war field. So they wouldn't mind killing or cutting the head of this criminal too. This is how they have reckoned it up. In fact, that is what they are trained for. And furthermore, all the members of the council have thought that that is the thing, which means execution is the thing what all the soldiers are trained for, in which they are very skilled person in doing these actions. That is a major thing what all these soldiers are trained, which means they are very skilled person in the execution. They wouldn't mind killing another person. This is how all the ministers and the members of the council ponder over this matter. After having asked a question by all the members of the council, the general talked it over with the soldiers to see whether one of them wouldn't undertake the job. The general, after having questioned by the members of the council, he talked this issue with his soldiers whether one of them would do this job or not. With the curiosity to know whether one of the soldiers would come forward to cut the head of the criminal or not is known by this general. When the general came forward to know whether one of the soldiers would cut the head of the criminal, he talked this issue with all the soldiers of his army. But none of the soldiers would do it. On listening the words of their general, no one of them came forward. No one, which means soldiers weren't ready to do this job. What they responded to their general is that no, they said, no, we are not ready to do this job. They said like this, we do not know how to do it. And further, they told their general saying that we do not really know how to execute the man's head. How to conduct the execution is not known to them. It is not the thing we have been taught, and they have added that all the soldiers have added that execution is not the thing we have been taught in our training. In their training, they have learnt many things, but not this execution. They have come to know several things in their training. They know very well how to wage a war in the battlefield, but not the execution or how to cut the head of the man is not taught in their training. This is how they have responded to their general. Let us make a move on to the next slide. Again, a question that arose in the minds of the members of the council and the ministers of Kingdom of Monaco. What was to be done? What was to be done? Again, the ministers considered and reconsidered what steps to be followed next. What conductivity needs to be done in the further ways. So, all the ministers considered this matter. The ministers of the Kingdom of Monaco took this matter very seriously and reconsidered it again. After taking consideration of this issue among all the ministers, they reconsidered it, which means they re-examined it. After having a much deliberation among themselves, they might have got to something in the form of a solution to do to what needs to be done next. So they reconsiders it what have they had among them. They assembled a commission and a committee and a subcommittee. And here all the ministers what have they thought that they wanted to establish a commission here. Commission, which means it is a special group of delegates to consider some matter, to consider some serious matter, to resolve it. So a commission has been formed here and a committee as well. It is a self-constituted organization. One of the organization, that's what we call a committee, has been formed by the ministers. And again, the subcommittee, it is a subset of committee members. It is a subset of committee members. That's what we call a subcommittee. This is how all the ministers assembled or gathered commission, a committee and subcommittee to discuss about this issue of the execution. And at last they decided that the best thing would be to alter the death sentence to one of the imprisonment of life. What was made in the form of a decision among all the ministers, commission, committee and a subcommittee is that all of them ultimately decided that the best thing would be to alter or change the death punishment to one of the imprisonment for life. Imprisonment, which means keeping the criminal inside the prison for the whole life, which means keeping him inside the prison throughout his life. That's what we call imprisonment for life. After having no clue how to execute this criminal, and as they were not ready to invest the money of 16,000 and 12,000 francs respectively, commission, committee and subcommittee decided that to convert or change the death punishment which was given earlier to the criminal to one of the imprisonment for life. Now, what are they decided among themselves is that which was given earlier as a death punishment to the criminal needs to be converted into one of the imprisonment for life. This would enable the prince to show his mercy and it would come cheaper. Now, Leo Tolstoy is of the opinion that in the form of a sarcasm or an irony, saying that this is how even the kinglet of Monaco, as he was not ready to invest the money of 16 and 12,000 francs to the execution of the criminal, the prince can show his mercy over the execution or over this criminal. This is how he has shown his he can show his mercy or sympathy over this criminal, and it would come cheaper. The cost would come cheaper. Earlier, 16,000 and 12,000 francs of money was the financial burden, and it was a huge amount to be invested to the kinglet of Monaco. But keeping this criminal inside the prison would be a nice thing or the best thing, and the things could also be the cheaper one, and there is no need to invest so much of money. So this way Leo Tolstoy satirizes the actions of the kinglet of Monaco. Let us go on to the another slide. The prince agreed to this after having decided to give a criminal imprisonment for life. The prince agreed to this. The kinglet of Monaco had shown his acceptance. The kinglet of Monaco accepted to give the criminal the imprisonment for life. He admitted with the decision that was made by the ministers and the members of the council. So the matter was arranged, which means with the acceptance of all the members of the council, ministers and the kinglet of Monaco, the matter was arranged. They wanted to put an end to the matter. So this issue was arranged. All the preparations were made to keep the criminal in the prison, which means not all the preparations were done so far, but the matter came to be settled by all the members of the council and the ministers and the kinglet of Monaco. But again, all the members, ministers and kinglet of Monaco came across another hitch over here, another impediment or an obstacle, as they discovered earlier, as they found it earlier. For the execution of the criminal, the guillotine machine and an executioner, now they found the another hitch, that there was no suitable prison for a man sentenced for life. What all the members of the council confronted is that there was no suitable prison in the entire kingdom of Monaco. They found no suitable or strong prison ever built in the kingdom of Monaco for a man to be kept inside the prison throughout his life. This was the hitch. All the members and kinglet found it here. After having decided to give imprisonment for life to the criminal, there was no suitable prison to keep the criminal inside throughout his life. But there was a small lockup where people were sometimes kept temporarily. The kinglet of Monaco and other members of the council managed to find a small lockup, which means it is a small it is a jail that can be that can only be found in stations, in police stations. There was a small lockup where people were sometimes kept temporarily. Instead of having a prison where there is no possibility of escaping from the prison, there was only a small lockup inside this kingdom of Monaco where the criminals were kept only for a temporary time usage, which means only for a temporary usage. In the kingdom of Monaco, a small lockup was constructed, and this was later found by the kinglet of Monaco, where the criminals were kept only for a temporal time. But there was no strong prison fit for the permanent use. Imprisonment for life, as I told you people earlier, the criminal would be kept throughout his life until he dies. That's what we call imprisonment for life. Throughout his life, he will be inside the prison. So, keeping this criminal throughout his life was not possible. Why? Because is that there was only a small lockup and there was no strong prison fit for permanent usage. To use any prison permanently where criminals can be kept inside, it should be in a strong position or condition. The walls and every construction of the prison should be in a position where the criminals can't be escaped out of it. So, but in this toy kingdom, there was no such a strong prison in which criminal can be kept inside permanently. However, they managed to find a place that would do. They refers to the ministers, members of the council, and the kinglet as well, managed to find a place that would do, which means they finally found a place where the criminal can be put inside the prison. After investing or putting all the efforts, they found a place where they can keep the criminal inside the prison, and they put the young fellow there. What had all the ministers done is that they put the young fellow or man inside the prison that was found by them. How soon after finding this prison, a criminal was put inside it by the ministers, and later placed a guard over him to keep watching the actions and activities of the criminal. They decided to appoint a guard over his actions. So, One of the gods was appointed and he was placed to look over the actions of the criminal inside the prison. The god Attu was the criminal. Some functions were assigned to the god to maintain. The god, what he needs to do is that the god Attu was the criminal. But the criminal is put inside the prison, his actions need to be observed. So, as the god was appointed, his functions were also assigned to him. The god had to watch the criminal and had also to fetch his food from the palace kitchen. Not only the god had to watch the criminal, he ought to have fetched his food from the palace kitchen. Fetch in a sense, he had to bring his food from the palace kitchen. The daily food that is prepared in the palace kitchen. So the god had to go to the palace kitchen and to bring the food that is made for the criminal only. This is how the god had to carry his actions of watching the criminals' actions and bringing the food from the palace kitchen. Let us stop over here. The rest part will be dealt in our upcoming class. Thank you all for listening to me all through the way. Thank you.